Hi, and welcome to CrewConnect TV. We're here with Alexander Avanth from PTC Holdings. Alexander, so nice to have you here.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So you are here at CrewConnect Global and CrewConnect Summit, and you are presenting both about digital technologies and transformations. So, as an education specialist, how will technology disrupt seafarers?
Question is quite broad because disruption in itself can happen on different levels. So to answer your question directly, I think it will disrupt. But how is a different approach. So we have these three different approaches to disruption. Something that happens at the core, adjacencies, or transformation. So core could be different ways of working, adjacencies could be different methods of working, and transformation is just a different kind of work. And there will be different disruptions depending on what level of these different areas we're talking about.
What do you think will be the main disruptors?
Well, the main disruptors in terms of technology, and I assume you asked for, is probably in the beginning driven by artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is also a buzzword. It's a lot of things basically. It's like saying it's the internet. So artificial intelligence can be anything from general intelligence, something that manages an oversight and operation at a general level, or something very specific like a artificial assistant. You might know Siri. And I think these small adjustments, artificial assistants or cognitive assistants, might be some of the first things we'll see introduced in different ways of working. These might be cognitive assistants in the way of communication. Many of the problems we experience, not only in seafaring, but generally is due to miscommunication. So something to kind of keep our conscious and our memory intact and on point is some of the smaller innovations that I think will have humongous impact in the way we work, both at sea and on land.
So, new generations are coming into shipping quite rapidly. So, do you think this industry is ready for the millennials and the younger generations like Gen Z?
It really depends. Yes and no. I think the industry is ready to take them in, and they're already taking them in. But whether or not they can keep them is a different question. So millennials and Gen Z has these very specific requirement and value structures that can be quite hard to both accompany and quantify. So there's something about impact, there's something about diversity, there's something about personal development that needs to be taken care of in order to keep them satisfied about their work and probably more important, their being. I think one of the things that we talk about, one of the things we forget to talk about when we talk about the future of work and millennials in general is that we of course want an employee or we want a seafarer, but we want the best version of this seafarer. And I think former way of working with people in this matter was that we would hire people for a function, and now due to technology and acceleration of change, we need people for processes. So both millennials are good at these things because they're adaptable, they want change, they seek impact, but in order for them to accompany this and actually be enabled to pursue it, they need the correct training. So the maritime industry can definitely take them in, but keeping them and making sure that they're satisfied about their position and their work requires almost a surgical approach to human resource development.
So how could this industry evolve and digitally transform shipping?
There's many ways the industry can go. It depends on the values, I guess, of the company who wants to pursue a change agenda or a digital transformation. I think it's very important that we don't just use digital to, increase output. I think it's important that we take into consideration how we can use digital to increase impact, and preferably something that's positive. I think we've seen the need for companies to change not only because they can't keep doing what they do, but also because they need to start doing something different in order to both socially and environmentally take care of our planet. So to initiate a digital transformation, I think looking at the output from a social, environmental impact perspective is a good, at least, initiator to get started, because this is something that won't only change the company, It will fundamentally change the environment and the community that that company exists and operates in.
And my last question is, since it is the 20th anniversary of CrewConnect Global, how do you see the future of this industry going?
The future of this industry is complex, I guess is the easiest word to use. It's also the 10 years anniversary of the iPhone, and I think the biggest misconception we have about the future is that we can try to predict it. I think it's very hard to say that what has happened the last 10 years is technically more evolution in the world than we've seen the last 50. I mean, we've had such a progress with digital, so just to try to imagine the next 5, I'd say that it really requires a lot more diversity, not only in who we are as human beings, but also the way we conduct work. Work is no longer something that's isolated to a function and a workplace. Work is something that we pursue because it hopefully is something that creates meaning for us. So the future of maritime, I think, comes back to its roots. We used to be seafarers because we also wanted to go on adventure. So how can we reintroduce adventure into the seafarers of the future and hopefully make sailing something that goes beyond just transport and something that goes towards sense making and making work more meaningful for the individual.
Alexander, thank you very much for sharing that with us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.